Our advocacy to protect Davao Shrine Hills goes back to 2006. That was when communities on both sides of Maa Road experienced flash floods because of what subdivision developers were doing on the hillsides. It was similar to the floods that happened in Maa in January 2013. Our advocacy for Shrine Hills started as a local Maa concern, but it has become a concern for many Davao residents who see the value of Shrine Hills for the city as a whole. They see themselves as Davao Shrine Hills Advocates. Since 2006, more residents and communities have become concerned. Thousands of Davao residents all over the city have signed petitions to keep Shrine Hills green and turn it into a protected area. This aerial view shows Shrine Hills and its neighboring communities. In the east is Maa Road. In the northwest is the Diversion Road. In the south is the Davao Memorial Park. This is another map of Shrine Hills from the Mines and Geosciences Bureau or MGB. It shows the Shrine Hills landslide susceptibility. The red areas are the most susceptible to landslides. Let's have a closer look at the soils of Shrine Hills. This is the geomorphological map of Shrine Hills made by the MGB. Notice the fault line and the landslide bodies. Communities have grown in and at the edge of these earth movements. The ridge of Shrine Hills, in yellow, is surrounded by steep slopes, in pink. What does the MGB report say? It says the slopes are unstable. It says human intervention and development make the slopes move. The MGB report recommends no additional development. It recommends make the slopes a conservation zone. This landslide in Huaryo village just below Jack's Ridge happened in 2009. It was in this area where earth movement collapsed the wall of a neighborhood chapel, crushing a young girl to death in 2007. A major landslide occurred last July 2011 in Nasilia village. It made some residents decide to move out of the area. Curving trees on some sites in Shrine Hills are an indication, according to experts, that the soil is moving, even slowly. Sinkholes happen when the highly porous and poorly compacted limestone in Shrine Hills is dissolved by rain or collapses. Sinkholes come in all sizes in many places in Shrine Hills. A famous sinkhole developed under the ABS-CBN building at the very ridge of Shrine Hills. It necessitated pouring in truckloads of concrete and substantial expenses. There are sinkholes in places where people live, but also in places targeted by subdivision developers. And even on top of the ridge, which is supposed to be stable. We are advocating that Shrine Hills will be safeguarded as a major green or protected area in the city. Why? For many reasons. Shrine Hills and its surroundings are not the most stable places to live. In fact, some portions which are inhabited should be non-habitation zones. Cracks have even emerged in portions that were not considered landslide prone. The MGB 2009 report laments that portions of the Shrine Hills have been developed that should have been left untouched. People say the government cannot stop development in Shrine Hills because these are private lands. We would like to stress the general welfare provision of the Local Government Code. It says the local government must enhance the general welfare of the people, meaning a balanced ecology and comfort and convenience of the citizens. The general welfare provision allows the local government to make land use zones, telling landowners and developers what they can do and cannot do with their lands. Another law also provides for minimum design standards for subdivisions. They must be outside of hazard-prone areas, outside critical areas with unstable soil. It is clear that Shrine Hills is not a good place for subdivisions. Developers are constructing in portions that should be left untouched. Already 2 years ago, the Sangguniang Panglungsod's Technical Working Group that reviewed the 1996 zoning ordinance recommended reclassify Maa Shrine Hills from residential into a protected zone and develop more urban parks. Reclassify residential zones in flood-prone areas into green open spaces like parks and playgrounds. In July 2012, Councilor Zozobrado gave a privileged speech in the council in support of declaring Shrine Hills as a nature park. She said, "Is the development of Shrine Hills for high-end residential projects a necessary ingredient in the molding of our city as the next economic tiger of our country? Can we prosper in terms of infrastructure development without touching Shrine Hills? I believe we can." She added, "In this way, not only can our children and our children's children enjoy the Shrine Hills that we have been fortunate to enjoy, more importantly, we can ensure a protected environment for their future." More recently, on March 19, 2013, Councilor Braga tabled for discussion a resolution in support of making Shrine Hills a protected area. Many Davaoeños consider Shrine Hills an outstanding landmark. Such a centrally located scenic natural asset should not be sacrificed but valued, nurtured, enhanced, protected. Shrine Hills is a major natural sponge to soak up rains during heavy downpours. Having Shrine Hills cemented will very much increase the water runoff to neighboring communities. The importance of Shrine Hills to soak up rainwater is even bigger when one realizes that it is adjacent to the city's biggest flood-prone area. Keeping Shrine Hills green can prevent disasters. Keeping Shrine Hills green will help keep pollution in check, especially in a city where the number of motor vehicles increased with 300% in the last 20 years. We need to protect all the green areas and trees that we still have. Shrine Hills can also be developed into an ecotourism site and a nature playground for all. In summary, this is Shrine Hills. Our concern, our future. Let's protect it. But the challenges are big. Green open space like Shrine Hills is constantly under risk of land acquisition and reclassification. Green open space for many, like Shrine Hills, is often sacrificed in favor of development that is profitable for a few. More and more people see that green protected space is a necessity, not a luxury. We need foresight and anticipate the future. And most of all, we need political will now. Experience in other cities shows that the single most important factor in greening a city is the political will of its leaders. Are our political leaders willing to show political will to protect Shrine Hills?